That person is in the path of Allah Almighty. His walking, talking, everything is the path of Allah. So much so malaika come and place their wings under that student of knowledge. Fish in the sea, they do maghfirat for that student of knowledge. Ants in the hole, they seek forgiveness for that student of knowledge. Such is the daraja, the maqam of that individual who seeks knowledge. And he remains in the path of Allah. Kana fi sabilillah. He remains in the path of Allah. And if he was to die in this path, then he'll attain the maqam of a shaheed. وَلَا تَقُولُوا لِمَنْ يُقْتَلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. Same words. The one who goes to seek knowledge. And knowledge isn't that you sit at home watching a few speeches on YouTube. Ye ilmi. Knowledge isn't what you write on Facebook and Twitter. आजकल तो बड़े मुफ्त मुफ्ती फिरने ना हर बंदा कोई ना कोई सोचना में पढ़ा लिखे हुआ चिट्टे मसले ज़्यादा है चिट्टे मसले कुछ ना पढ़े वे Allahu Akbar. Everybody thinks he knows it. In reality he knows nothing. He knows nothing. Because in reality the one who is an alim, he will never say he's an alim. The one who is an alim, he will never say he's an alim. Why? Because the one who says he's an alim, in reality he is a jahil. He is ignorant. आजकल दो किताबें पढ़ी तो बंदा शेखुल इस्लाम बनी सकना, मुफक्र मिल्लत बनी सकना, मुफ्ती आज़म बरतानिया दो किताबें पढ़ी तो ला हौला वला तमाशा ना मजाक तो लावा तमाशा एक Allahu Akbar. And knowledge is the very first condition of becoming a murshid as well. These are not my shara'i, these are the shara'i of Ala Hazrat. Azim wa Barakat, Mujaddid Deen wa Millat, Imam Ahmad Riza Khan alayhi rahmat wa rahmat. Very first knowledge, very first condition of becoming a murshid, Kamil, is that person has to be an alim. Ye gala nazar. Bahari Sharif uthao na. Fatawa Afrikiya, you pick up these books. Ala Hazrat have 4 conditions of a murshid Kamil. Very first condition is that person must be an alim of the deen. If he's not an alim, he can't be a pir. If he's not a scholar, he can't be a murshid. Why? Because he can't even guide himself. How is he going to guide you? He doesn't know halal and haram himself. How is he going to tell you what's halal and haram? Very bad samjhe. Allah. Today is also the Yawm al-Bisal of Khwaja Khwajagan, Mehboob Ilahi, Mehboob Subhani, Qutb Rabbani, Khwaja Sayyid Nizamuddin Awliya Rahmatullahi Ta'ala. 18th of Rabiul Thani is also the Yawm al-Wisal of Nizamuddin Awliya. And he was a great Waliullah. Great Waliullah. Today, Bari Sagir, Hindustan, the people there are Muslim because of these great men. And Nizamuddin Awliya Rahmatullah alayhi, he was the Murid and he was the Khalifa, the disciple of Baba Fariduddin Ganj Shakar Rahmatullah. Youngsters might be thinking, what on earth is Imam Sahib talking about? Huh? Mention some names that we know, like Ronaldo and Rooney. Then we'll tell you, tu sab pata chalegi ho. Baba, hamara jeena marna in marde kalandar ke liye hai. These great men of Allah, our jeena marna is for them. We love them. Why? Because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Al-mar'u ma'a man ahabba. On the day of Qiyamah, on the day of judgment, you'll be with that person who you love. We love the awliya al-karam. We try to follow to the best of our ability in their naqsh qadam. So dekho, Baba Fariduddin Ganj Shakar Rahmatullah alayhi, they were whose murid? They were whose disciple? Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki Rahmatullah alayhi. Itni badhiya shakhsiyat. Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi. Or Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki Rahmatullahi alayhi. They were the Murid and Khalifa of Gharib Nawaz, Sultanul Hind, Khwaja Sayyid Mu'inuddin Hassan Ajmeri Sanjari Rahmatullahi Ta'ala. This is the golden part of the chain of the Chist Silsila. Khwaja Nizamuddin Awliya Rahmatullahi alayhi ki baat ho rahi hai that they had 700 khulafa. And they weren't dishing out khilafat like they do today. This is sabak hai. Or gaur se suno. How many khulafa? 700 khulafa. And their condition of giving khilafat, Baba, ye sab Quran ka faisla na. Wabtaghu ilayhi al-wasilata. I'm not going to go into that bahas. why we have peers and why we follow shuyukh. I'm telling you that if you are looking for a sheikh, this is what you should look for. First condition is that he should be an alim of the deen. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. It's the ulama, the men of Allah Almighty who fear Allah. Not the Naat Khan, not the Pirane Tariqats. Allah didn't say Pir here. Allah didn't say Naat Khan here. Allah said the ulama. This is why Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Inna al-ulama warasatul anbiya. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam didn't say Inna Sufiya, Inna Naat Khana. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Inna al-ulama. It's the ulama who are the varisin of the anbiya. Varisin of Mimbar Rasul. We need to go back to knowledge. Today we are living in dark times. Inna min ashrati sa'ati an yathbut al-jahlu. We are living in times of jahalat today. And the only cure to darkness and ignorance and jahalat is that we seek knowledge. Ilm hasil kar. Nikki ji misal hai. Nikki ja masla hai. You learn one hadith sharif, one ayat of the Quran, whatever it be. Day by day, day by day, day by day, you'll see your knowledge increasing. And ये नहीं मतलब सिर्फ इल्म हासिल करो, नहीं. इल्म हासिल करने के बाद उस इल्म पर अमल करो. उस इल्म पर अमल करो. ये नहीं बस जी ऐसा इल्म हासिल करी गंदा, इमाम साहब ने शर्त पूरा करी गंदा. नहीं. उस इल्म पर अमल करो. अमल तो भाई कहे कुछ नहीं ना. और अमल तो बाद, after actions is ajizi. Ajizi. Why? Because shaitan had knowledge, he had amal as well. Shaitan had knowledge, ilm, he was the leader of the angels. And he had amal as well. He did so much ibadat that there was not a single place on this earth where shaitan, iblis, did not do sajda to Allah Almighty. Ilm or amal to baad, ajizi paida karo. Ye nahi bas ji, main hi vadda maulvi haan. Main hi vadda peer haan. Jila main hukam de sa fir sare baith san. Ye kya ajizi hai? Allah आजिज़ी पैदा करो. वइबादुर रहमान अल्लज़ीना यमशूना अलल अर्दि हौना. ये सब कुरान का फैसला ना. लेकिन कोई सुनाने वाला कौन ही और सुनने वाले ही कौन ही. वइबादुर रहमान, the servants of Rahman are those people that when they walk on the earth, they walk with ajizi. Today our youngsters walking on the earth with mobile phones in their hands, chest sticking out, thinking they're 10 men. Our youth today, no Jawan Nasr. They don't know where they walk straight into a lamppost. Behosh hai na, main bhai sunni behosh hi log. Brother, when you walk on the earth, you walk with ajizi. You don't look at the sister across the road and then you try to justify it and say, oh, one glance is dies. No, you lower your gaze. Ajizi. Humility. Allah loves those people who humble themselves. Allah loves those people who lower themselves. And this is the natija of ilm. Apne aap kuch na samjho. Fana ho jao. Fana ho jao. Baat ho risi na Khwaja Nizamuddin Awliya ki. Thakke hue na na. Unka sona. Betriyan ya fir tatya karega. Aisab Allahu Akbar. Durud Sharif. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammadin sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. As-salatu was-salamu alayka ya Sayyidi ya Rasulallah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Sayyidi ya Habiballah. Who are we talking about, young man? Nobody else speak, just you. What the 15 minute pehle nigal si. Suti gaye. Haan? Khwaja Nizamuddin. Say the name. Nizamuddin Awliya. Huh? The laqab was Mahbub Ilahi. How many khulafa did they have? 700. Yes? What's a khalifa? No, it's not a midfield position in a football team. Quickly, time's ticking. People are going to hold you accountable. Batte to ki maar samay to chala jasa. What's a khalifa? Quickly. You can phone a friend. Which friend do you want to phone? Don't say you haven't got any friends. Huh? Anybody from the young kids here? What do we know? And tu jo on sare bun rakhne apne muh hai wo pichha chap gaya. Huh? What's a khalifa? When we say that he has 700 khulafa, what's a khalifa? Khalifa wahid. Allah Akbar.
Nare Risalat, Nare Risalat, Salah Khan Mustafa.
700 khulafa Nizamuddin Awliya rahmatullah alayhi had. Khalifa is a disciple. He's a disciple, somebody who continues the work of the Shaykh. From amongst the khulafa of Nizamuddin Awliya rahmatullah alayhi was an individual by the name of Sirajuddin Uthman. Sirajuddin Uthman. Talib ilm बैठे पढ़े लिखे हुए लोग हैं. साहिब हिदायतुन नहव. ये किताब है ना इल्म नहव में हिदायतुन नहव. The musannif of this kitab is Sirajuddin Uthman. They were originally from Bengal, which is today Bangladesh, modern day Bangladesh. Sirajuddin Uthman, he came into the bargah of Nizamuddin Awliya rahmatullah. And he was a man of a lot of capabilities. He had a lot of abilities. But he wasn't an alim of the deen. He wasn't alim of the deen. And Nizamuddin Awliya's condition was what? In order for that person to become a khalifa, he has to be alim of the deen. At that point, a senior khalifa, Fakhruddin Zarradi rahmatullah alayh. Fakhruddin Zarradi rahmatullah alayh. He came to Nizamuddin Awliya. He said, Huzur, give me 6 months. Give me 6 months and I will make Sirajuddin into an alim of the deen. Niyat saaf hai na? 6 mahine vich bhi kam ho sakna. Give me 6 months and I will make him into an alim of the deen. Nizamuddin Awliya said, are you sure? Are you sure? This is when you have willpower. Aajkal log aane, oh, I'm 25, unme kya padhna hai? I've got a job, I've got 6 kids. Not probably at 25, probably at 30. बच्चे हैं, औलाद हैं, जिम्मेदारी है, इमाम से तुझसे आ ही सकने हो. ऐसा बिल देने, mortgage देनी है, खाना देना है बच्चे की, कपड़े लवाने, they want the latest shoes, they want the latest phone. Imam sahab, it's easy for you to say. No, not easy for me to say. Rather easy for you to do. Nothing is difficult in life. If you want something, you go out and you get it. You don't hesitate. You don't think twice. You go and get that thing that you want. And if you want knowledge, brother, you go and seek knowledge. Ilm hasil karo. Ilm hasil karo. 6 mahine vich. He said, I'll make him a scholar, an alim in 6 months. He said, are you sure? He said, I'm sure. 6 mahine guzri gaye. Both people came back into the court of Nizamuddin Awliya. And they said that Huzur, inana imtihan liyo, take his test. So Nizamuddin Awliya rahmatullah alayhi, they began taking the test of who? Sirajuddin Uthman. Asking questions, asking questions, asking questions. Every question that they asked, Sirajuddin Uthman gave the answer to those questions. They said, today now I'm satisfied that I can give you khilaf. You go now back to West Bengal, which is today Bangladesh, and you spread Islam. Today most of the people in Bangladesh are Muslims because of Sirajuddin Uthman. Chisti rahmatullahi ta'ala. Ilm hasil karo. Shart-e awwal of a murshid-e kamil is that he is an alim. Alim. Tere aur sharait bhi rehne na. Mashallah Hazrat you aayege. Waqt itna koni. Main bhi thak gaya. Tomorrow I've got 2 talks in Bolton as well. One in Masjid Aqsa after Maghrib. And then we're starting a new course. See, I had a hidden agenda in all of this. We're starting a new course. This course is called In the Defense of the Sunnah. And tomorrow, 2.5 hours, I will sit and we will talk about Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam being Noor. No jawan with confusion. Brothers who go to universities, schools, colleges, and people question us, oh, acha, you think that the Prophet is Noor? Why? And our youngsters don't know because they don't have any knowledge. Ad-da'wa bila dalilin ghayru masmu'in. Asa sirf da'wa karne hai, dalail ko nahi hamare paas. Hamara da'wa hai that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has ilmul ghayb. Hamara da'wa hai that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is Noor. Hamara da'wa hai that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is afdalul bashar. Hamara da'wa hai that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is hazir aur hazir. Lekin aam sunni kul pucho na. सुक्के सुन्नी को, they don't have the दलाइल। और ये इल्मुल मुनाज़रा का कायदा है, रशीदिया उठाओ ना। गैर मस्मूइन, brother, if you don't have the दलाइल, then nobody is going to listen to you. तो सब पूरा जोर लाई तो नारे लाओ ना, nobody cares what you're saying. That's how it works, doesn't it? You can shout on the top of your voice, मैं सुन्निया, मैं सुन्निया। लेकिन if Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam doesn't accept you, then your sunniyat means nothing. Your sunniyat means nothing. Allahu Akbar. You put on to say agge agge aa rahe ho. Acha? Push na. You know about the blowing na. Huh? Allahu Akbar. मेरा वैसे एक दिल सी ना दो वाकिया ऐसे अहले निस्बत वाले लोग का ना अहले सुन्नती वल जमात हमारी एक खुसूसियत ये है that we are अहलुन निस्बा. Nisbat means connection. We have connection with the men of Allah, with the Sahaba Ikram, with the Ahl Bayt Athar. We are not people who go to Ifrat or Tafreed. No. Khairul Umuri Awsatuha. We are people of moderation, of balance. There is no extremism within Islam. ठीक है ना? Neither in Aqidah, neither in blowing ourselves up. No extremism. We are peace-loving people. This is the message of Islam. Dekho Gharib Nawaz, he went into Ajmer with one lota, one tasbih, one musalla. One tasbih, one musalla, one lota, one marde calendar. He was responsible for 9.3 million Hindus accepting Islam. एक बार उन्होंने मुलाकात भी हुई सी ना गरीब नवाज और पीराने पीर. If you pick up Meher Munir, Sayyid Meher Ali Shah Sahab Rahmatullah Alayhi's biography, it's mentioned in there that these two marde calendar they met. The Zameen Aligi si. Zameen Aligi si. ठीक है ना? And at that point, Ghaliban, last time 3-4 साल पहले मैं पढ़ी सी biography. लेकिन I think it was Shenshai Baghdad who got hooked. They took the asar, the stick, and they placed it into the ground to stop the earth from moving, from shaking. But this is when two giants of Islam met. Allah. And if this is the maqam of the awliya, then imagine what the maqam of the Sahaba Ikram is. Ashabi kan nujum, bi ayyihim iqtadaytum ihtadaytum. Arey Sahaba are like the stars. Whichever one of them you follow, you shall be guided. And why are they the stars? Because they take their shine from the moon, which is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahu Akbar. दो वाक़ियात मेरे जज्बात खत्म हो जाए. निस्बत की बात. My youngsters, listen to me carefully. We are people of nisbah. If you don't even understand why, just take my word for it. Take my word for it. Nisbat, दो बात माज़र चाना हज़रत त्रै बात. एक बात ये मशहूर रिवायत है. हाजी इमदादुल्लाह मुहाजिर मक्की रहमतुल्लाह अलैह जो पीर मुर्शिद उलमाए देवबंद के थे. They do nakal of this, or Ashraf Ali Thanvi, he mentioned this in his Imdadul Mushtaq, that Huzur Ghous Azam, he had a dobi. Have you heard the story? Let's listen very carefully. मैं बात ही पूछना तेरे को. Huzur Ghous Azam had what a dobi, not Dobby from Harry Potter. Dobi. Dobi is what? The one who used to wash his clothes. What's your name? Norman. ठीक है. Listen carefully, Norman. Huzur Ghous Pak had a dobi, yani the one who used to wash his clothes. And he washed his clothes for 40 years. 40 साल की खिदमत. वली कामिल की खिदमत. और आम वली नहीं, that wali whose foot is on the neck of everybody. कोई आम वली तो नहीं ना. 40 years, 40 साल खिदमत. कुल्लु नफ्सिन ज़ाइक़तुल मौत. Verily every soul shall taste death. One day we are going to leave this world. Don't think you're staying here forever, no man. Yes? And you need to prepare for the next life. Yes? Inshallah. So he died. When he died, he was lowered into his grave. Ulama Deoband do nakal of this, not us. He was lowered into his grave. Munkar and Nakir came. Man Rabbuka, who is your Lord? Savalat on dena. Har banda puch rahe. Unhone pucho si. Who is your Lord? At that point, his jawab was what? Main sirf Huzur Ghous Pak ka dobi. Man Rabbuka, who is your Lord? He goes, मैं हुजूर गौस पाक का दोबी हूँ. मुनकर नकीर देखो ये उनकी आम बंदा नहीं. ठीक है. दूसरा सवाल, माँ दीनु का, what is your religion? At that point, this man, he said, मैं सिर्फ हुजूर गौस पाक का दो भी निस्बत की बात बाबा, निस्बत की बात और सिर्फ निस्बत नहीं, उन्हें 40 साल खिदमत भी करती थी. They had dalail to prove or to support that da'wah. दो भी सन, लेकिन they had dalail as well. कपड़े होने से. हाय हाय. अल्लाहु अकबर. जिन्हें समझे समझिए. तीसरा सवाल. ठीक है, 3 सवाल होने ना. और तीसरा सवाल बुखारी शरीफ में है और कोई सी it's not mentioned in any of the किताब. बुखारी शरीफ. मा कुंता तक़ूलु फ़ी हक़्क़ि हाज़िल रजुल. What did you used to say about this man? And at that point, at that moment, at that point, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's tasweer will be present. ये हमारा अकीदा ना. And we need to prepare for that. अच्छा, सवाल. मुनकर नकीर asked the question. He gives the answer. बस मैं सिर्फ हुजूर गौस पाक का दोबी. 3 सवाल हुए जवाब. मैं हुजूर गौस पाक का दोबी हूँ. I'm the one who washes the clothes of हुजूर गौस पाक. मुनकर नकीर, they go to Allah Almighty. They say, Ya Allah, we asked this individual the question. These were his answers. At that point, Allah Almighty says, you don't understand who he is. You don't understand who he is. Arey, because of his nisbat with Huzur Ghaus Azam, arey, forgive him and enter him into Jannat. Allah. लेकिन सिर्फ निस्बत नहीं. सुल्तान सलाहुद्दीन अय्यूबी रहमतुल्लाह अलैह. जल्दी जल्दी मकान. Everybody heard the name, yes? Yes. Most of our youngsters today want to be like Sultan Salahuddin al-Ayyubi. Arey, that great Marde Kalandar who conquered Jerusalem from the crusades of the Christians. Sultan Salahuddin al-Ayyubi, not any ordinary mujahid. When he was on his deathbed, Ghous se suno, aakhri do lamhat. When he was on his deathbed, who was on his deathbed? I've picked on you already. Teri turn hai. Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi rahmatullah alayh. They were on their deathbed. Aakhri lamhat. Somebody came to them and said, Huzur, you are a great mujahid. You spent your whole life fighting in the way of Allah. Today, you have not attained the maqam of a shaheed. You're dying a natural death. At that point, Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi rahmatullah said, Alhamdulillah, till this day, the sword of the enemy has not touched my neck. Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi. Because the sword of the enemy has not touched my neck. At that point, the man who was asking the question, he said, Huzur, iska majra kya, wajah kya? You fought in so many battles. You protected and safeguarded Islam. Why is it that the sword of the enemy never touched your neck? At that point, they said that when I was a young child, nisbat ki baat, when I was a young child, my father took me to Pirane Peer. My father